Hello, welcome back to another Premiere Pro video. I want to look at some cool effects. This is one of the first ones that I was going to want to look at, which is the VR glow effect. Pretty fun, right? So if you want to get rid of sky like that, that's quite an easy way to get rid of the sky. And you can see I'm not really losing anything else. So, and I'm just using that with the Luma, the lighting threshold there. So another thing you might want to do, which is kind of cool, is to do an adjustment layer, and that way you can actually flip areas of the screen. Let's try like a really unusual one actually. So we've got this big box here, and we're going to put it right at the beginning, and we're going to change it to an adjustment layer. That means that we'll be able to do stuff on the layer below. And essentially, I want to do a 3D flip, but I don't want to flip the whole video. I just want to flip what's in the box. So this is the way you do it. And then we can go to effects, and we can go to 3D, and you'll notice we've got in this section, it's called basic 3D in perspective. And then what we can do in that one is we can use this swivel effect here, and we can swivel it. Take a look at that, right? Kind of cool, right? That is kind of cool. There's actually like you can see how you could get like the Venetian blind sort of effect as well. To put glow in glow choices, you basically have VR and alpha glow, and yeah, we'll do alpha glow, I guess, in this one. And you can see alpha glow. If we just increase the number, let's just go to a cool spot. You can see that, yeah, glow, brighten it. How far does this go? It goes pretty far, right? We can choose what color we want it. You can even, I think, yeah, you can go all the way through the different colors, right? Let's try going from, let's just choose the two colors that we happen to have here. I could eye drop it, actually. That's going to be the start. End color could be like this guy. No, maybe not that one. Maybe slightly, yeah, there you go. So let's see what happens with that. Didn't see much of the orange there. Oh, well. Maybe I didn't do it, that's why. There you go. So yeah, kind of cool effects that you can do like that. So that is the sort of basic 3D stuff. What other effects are there that are cool? Well, in a lot of programs, you have transform, free transform. Not in Premiere Pro though. That is just an effect. Like in Illustrator, After Effects, everything's like free transform. You can do it, but this is just an effect basically. I wanted to actually let me just go. Let me just go back to the 3D thing because this is kind of an interesting thing. So we'll put the 3D on. This time let's do tilt. Just one thing you can do actually, which is kind of interesting, is do distance to image. So look at that, right? You can actually tell that basically, if you look at like this position, this is the whole clip. So it's literally the whole clip inside the whole clip, basically. So that's kind of interesting. And another thing you can do with that is you can do transform, right? So transform is free transform as it's known in other programs. But in Premiere Pro, because it's a slightly different sort of program, you can't do free transform in the same way. It's an effect. So what you could do potentially with this is let's do like a skew on it, maybe. Let's see how that works. And we'll go to just the endpoint there, which I don't know why I didn't say that. Let's just do something not too obvious, right? Just like a little rhombus, little parallelogram. Yeah, not bad. So that's how you can do that sort of thing. You could obviously do rotation. You could obviously do a bunch of different stuff on that. A few different options for that. So that is like the free transform, which is pretty useful. Just trying to think if there's anything else we're going to want here. But yeah, distance to image is cool. These three in general are pretty good for the basic 3D. and you could easily do, yeah, you could easily do some cool 3D stuff with that. Another cool effect that you can do is adjust. If you go to this proc amp, let's just put this in the graphic here. And proc amp basically just gives you like the very simple sliders of the things that you're most likely to use. It's kind of cool like that. You can also do the split screen stuff. I could do the split screen stuff. Let's try it. So this is how it works anyway. So let's do let's do it half and half just to see how it works. So what I can do is say I'm going to change a bunch of things. I'll change the hue. That's always a good one to change, right? And we'll change it to a completely different color. So you can see with split screen, I can basically change it, like on the fly. Basically, I can. It gives probably an even cooler effect than just doing. So yeah, you could do something like that, right? So that is pretty cool. We can change the hue. Yeah. So you don't have. It doesn't seem to have a keyframe though, right? So but it's still it's not a huge problem if you put a rotation in there as well in the. Yeah. So remember, if we wanted to change, and that's the thing, you always have to like remember it. I should probably just go over this again. Is that you always have to remember it within the wider context of the whole thing that you're dealing with. So, for instance, say I wanted to change the shape, we're still dealing with this square, so we could change the shape. We could look at the shape, and we could say, okay, I want to change the shape. So we could change the shape, make it small. You know what I might do? Actually, why don't I just do it like that? Make it a little bit smaller on this side. Let's see how that looks now. See how that looks? So yeah, so you could do something like that, for example, change the path. So yeah, we could scale it down to 0, for instance. So let's take a look at that. So that would be taking it out. It kind of looks like a mobile phone, actually. Is there maybe a feathering effect I could try? Edge feather. Let's try that. Love to get something which, well, immediately looks better. I think that's the thing. Like, if you get like a little black border like that and you don't want it, edge feather. Yeah, I guess it's like, yeah, it's as you start working with it, you sort of start to see like what other sort of like effects. I wonder if what if I drag. So yeah, so this is like one graphic, right? So what if I alt click and then drag it up? That's kind of cool. Let me just see how that works. Yeah, you start to get quite a cool effect from that. This is something I think I noticed before. Does look quite good there. It would probably look even better if I did a bunch of them. I probably shouldn't, but why not? So this is what I'm talking about, how many layers you can get. You see, I can get a bunch, right? And I can still see all my stuff up here. But look at that now. Actually, I wasn't actually planning on it working quite as well as that. Yeah, that looks awesome. We'll have to fully render that. Actually, quite a quick render time. Let's take a look at the full thing. See if I can get it nice and big. Let's have a look. Yeah, it really works as well. The split screen thing actually really works well. It gives like Can you see the contrast in the actual colors there? It's like if it was just this side, you'd barely notice it happening. But the contrast actually makes you realize it's happening to the whole thing. It's almost like a blending into into that sort of like multicolored world. It's kind of like I think it does work. It might also be that that the terrain is quite prominent as well. But anyway, well, is there anything else to talk about? I guess that's probably all I could think of talking about today. I mean, it's one of those things that, like, if you're having fun with this stuff, you're having fun with it. And you can always just sort of run into random cool stuff. But that will do for now, so thanks for watching.